Yeah, Bloomberg already wrote about it. I saw political pundit Hasan Piker questioned by U.S. Customs at airport. Yeah, the articles are rolling in for all the article heads. Defending rights and dissent. Our policy director, Chip Gibbons, on the detention of streamer Hasan the Hun. We are deeply disturbed that CBP is stopping political commentators at the border to interrogate them about the First Amendment protected activities. Such an abuse of power is an affront to press freedom. Hell yeah. I don't know why the fuck they did that. It's so dumb. I still think about that. I assume it was so that they can just like, I assume it's so that they can say like that I tell the tale and then like there's more of a chilling effect on speech. But I feel like this is going to backfire on them. You know what I mean? Like, why the fuck would I get intimidated by this? You know what I mean? I'm one of the worst people to do this to, especially because I'm a high profile person. Like, people are going to write about this. Is there a chance you're overreacting and this was a normal process? Or maybe not, but the people reacting to it? Yeah, it's a totally normal process to stop someone and ask them if how they feel about Donald Trump, an American citizen, at the point of entry into the country. Do you think it's a normal process, chatter? Like, they didn't ask me. They had nothing. They had no reason to stop me. I'm a U.S. citizen walking into my own country. What the are you talking about? It's the least normal thing you can do. It wasn't normal when they were doing it to like random Afghan nationals with American citizenship, but it's certainly not normal to do it to an American citizen. You know what I mean? I traveled internationally and was asked a few questions. I was like 15 years old. What? Bro, the questions that they asked me were not normal questions. They were all directly related to protected First Amendment activities, okay? As a political commentator, it wasn't a random stop either. Asking me about Twitch bans and shit. You think these are normal questions to ask a random person that they randomly stopped? Do you think that's what happened? Like, that's crazy. Yeah, also, they didn't like stop me. They literally took me to a detention area. People are going to try and minimize it now to pretend these things aren't happening. I know. All of the media is going to write about it. Meanwhile, all the slop tubers are going to be like, oh, it's fake. It's normal part of the process. It's perfectly normal, perfectly valid. You know what I mean? Did you say you don't like Donald Trump as you believe? Yes, I did. I have global entry, by the way, which means that like the DHS is aware of me to begin with. Like, I got stopped at global entry, not even like regular entry into the country, global entry. You should have live streamed it. Chatter, it's a Faraday cage. When you go into the interrogation room, it's a Faraday cage. There's no service in there. Probably not a Faraday cage. They use jammers. Okay, whatever. Jammers. Why didn't you stand on your principles more firmly when questioned at the border instead of opting to dodge the questions? I love Redditors so much, dude. Yeah, I should have debated him further, which I did. Unironically, I did. Is this your interrogator? I think dealing with dumbasses in my chat and drama baiters in my chat have actually trained me for this very moment. Like, having to constantly engage with debate lords makes it easy work to deal with like a ICE or CBP guy. You know what I mean? They're having a rough time because they wanted to punch the air and celebrate that you got held, but realized, no, wait, that's terrible optics. So they're coping so hard. Yeah. Yeah. If I was Ethan Klein, I would be like, Ethan is the reason why I got stopped by Customs and Border Patrol. Like, I'd make a YouTube video complaining about how Ethan Klein directly called Customs and Border Patrol on me. No evidence whatsoever necessary. You know, my way or the highway. If you don't actually agree with me, then you love that I got detained. I literally think he is. Why do you think they had specific questions about your bans and shit? What are you, crazy? They had those specific questions because I'm sure I have a document somewhere in the Department of Homeland Security ready to rip at any moment of detention or apprehension. Yeah, they have a bunch of they have a bunch of notes to hit. What was shocking is that would be a part of the questioning for ICE or Department of Homeland Security. Like, that in and of itself is shocking because it's like they're getting their notes from Redditors and Reddit drama, which is crazy. Yeah, Bloomberg already wrote about it. I saw political pundit Hasan Piker questioned by U.S. Customs at airport. Yeah, the articles are rolling in for all the article heads. Sorry you didn't get better Midwest hospitality. It's all good. They're cheering this on over at eSub. Yeah, I know. They can suck my liberals, by the way, cheering on one of the largest progressive voices in the country getting detained by the Trump Gestapo. Like what a wonderful progressive audience they have over there. Anyway, they're straight up fascist at this point. So the total runtime of it was like 2 hours, which was definitely faster than I thought it was going to be, I will admit. But I basically asked him, like, do you think this is going to happen again? Right? I was like, is this going to happen again? I asked, like, you know, am I going to be detained in the future? And he said, maybe. And he gave me this piece of paper, this sheet from Homeland Security. What is DHS trip? Okay. And you can, I guess, submit an inquiry at dhs.gov/trip and ask why I was stopped. You will be prompted to describe your particular concerns and experience, provide contact information to which a response will be directed, and be assigned a case number to help you monitor the progress of your inquiry, which I will do. Okay, I will do this. If you don't already know, your ops are doing mass email campaigns to the feds to try and get this exact same thing to happen. Yeah, I know. They can suck my for all of my dumbass ops. I think it's really crazy that the government is willing and able to work with like genuine schizophrenic stalkers. It is actually wild that they're willing and able to work with these people. It blows my mind. But you know, that is where we're at. But yeah, here was Lolo. Rules take DHS flagging and detaining one of U.S.'s largest left-wing voices for their political opinions while the Trump admin suggests they might suspend habeas corpus does not portend well for the future. Yeah, that's where we're at. Where was it? This is the experience that it closely resembled, by the way. ICE detains a woman who runs anti-Trump TikTok. She's a U.S. citizen born and raised. She was detained for hours as agents searched her phone and social media, even demanding financial statements on how much she earns on TikTok. They never asked me for my financial statements either. The woman who goes by Eye of Sav was returning from a European vacation at the Miami International Airport with a valid global re-entry card issued to her as a U.S. citizen, but she also had global entry. Yeah, Seamus said, been pulled into secondary screening many times at O'Hare. CBP had the most involved in specific questions about Gaza for me by far. Glad to see you got out of there without having to give up your devices. Yeah. Are you not curious how they have a list of specific questions about you locked in the chamber? Like there's a team responsible for monitoring you? Maybe. I mean, it doesn't matter. All the stuff that I have talked about on this broadcast are still completely not only First Amendment protected, but also on top of that, like not even reaching the standard of like truly questionable speech, regardless of what like Mudahar or Asmongold claims it is, right? It doesn't reach that standard. And that's precisely the reason why they have to actively clip shit out of context and desperately try to create drama surrounding this so they can get Twitch to enforce some action on it, so they can make it seem as though this is actually truly radical speech that's like really fucked up. Does that make sense? Because like when a platform like Twitch actually does take action against someone like myself, then other institutions will use that. Other institutions will basically use that as a way to say, oh, he did do something bad. He did do something fucked up. Okay? So it is what it is. Media and other content YouTubers are currently, it's not even media. It's like free press. It's like Hasbara papers that no one takes seriously, and then slop tubers that even less people take seriously and don't give a shit about.